Stalin begins to implement an extreme communist regime, that so much so that it becomes a type of what? What's that T word? It's a totalitarian government, which means he is exercising absolute control, which means he is manipulating historical records. Anyone who challenges him is killed. There was something called the Great Purge. The Great Purge was in the late 1930s, and it's where Stalin basically killed off 1 million people who challenged him politically. So anyone who disagreed with him, he killed off. So this was already brewing up until and during World War II, but then it really took off after, and it became a massive threat to America because they saw in Soviet Union, in other countries like China, if you see the box there, right? Mao Zedong proclaims China a communist nation in 1949. That spread of communism, two huge countries, right? The Soviet Union and China, two huge countries are now communist. Well, America starts to fear the spread of communism into its society. And again, why doesn't America want communism? Basically, no matter what job you're working, no matter what you're doing, everyone kind of gets everything divided up evenly. Right? Now that's an oversimplification, but to make it easy for you to understand, it's like you go and work for your job, but even if you are the owner of Amazon, you're Jeff Bezos now doesn't get the $100 billion of net worth. The government owns everything. It's like 100% tax. So every dollar you make goes to the government, and then they will take care of you. They'll ration out your food. So you still will live. They'll take all your money, but then the government decides what to do with every dollar in the economy. So because the government's deciding what to do with every dollar of your money, it means not only that there are a lack of incentives to work, like why would you want to be the founder of Amazon when you can't make the 100 billion, right? Or whatever it is, right? Now, you might still want to do that because you love it. That's great. That's the theory of it. But people don't innovate as much, right? So in a communist society, innovation is actually thwarted. It's inhibited because there isn't a monetary incentive. Does everyone get that? Why would you innovate and create the new best thing if there is no financial incentive? Again, you might argue, well, you do it because you love it. It's like, yes, some people will do that, but it's not going to be at scale. It's not going to be everyone doing that. So the government gets everyone's dollars, and then that means that the government has so much power because they're controlling everything. They own everything. They own you, basically. And when a government has a lot of power, it's likely to be what? It's going to be corrupted because they enjoy the power. Oh, we have all this money. We have so much power over everyone. It's human nature to enjoy that and become corrupted. We are corruptible as people, right? When you're surrounded by people like that, when you get caught up in that world of power, then you actually can be corrupted and then start to manipulate people so that you can keep your power. Does everyone get that? Now that's what's happening in a communist regime that becomes corrupted. So communism in itself is not about that. It's just that's more likely to happen because you're giving so much power, so much money, so much control to the government. So whoever's in the government is probably not going to want to let that go. That's the problem with communism. It doesn't work in that sense. Whereas within a democratic society where it's free and everyone can make their own money, right? You don't have that as much of that risk, theoretically. But ironically, paradoxically, as I've talked about, in the capitalist and free and democratic land of America, because of the fear and the tactics and McCarthyism, where people were accusing people without any evidence of being a communist, everyone was afraid and therefore became disempowered because they lost their ability to think critically. They were afraid to stand up. So basically, McCarthy and the government then became like a communist dictatorship. That was the paradox of it.